Today's video, we are going to look at this interesting looking shape inspired by Sol LeWitt for the January 6 prompt, Steal Like an Artist. Sol LeWitt was an American artist who worked extensively on the themes of conceptualism and minimalism. One of the more famous works that he did was called Wall Drawings, in which he came up with like a set of instructions or guidelines, which were used to kind of then make 2D sketches using different kinds of materials, crayons, chalk, ink, and plot them on a wall. It is very interesting and kind of relevant for generative artists, especially because that's what generative artists also do, like make uh, images and artworks using lines of code, which is basically instructions. So let's get started. Let's drop our main loop to initialize our patch. Now for this particular video, I have put together a set of instructions. I will just paste them here in this comment operator. So we need a series of points, then we need to kind of sort the points, connect all of the points using curves, and then connect the first and the last point, rotate the produced shape, and then plot the diagram, right? So first we will get our point sphere random op. It basically generates a point field which is mapped to the surface of a sphere. Now once we have our points, basically it's this array that you can see here with lots and lots of points. If I change the number of points, then you can see the number change as more and more points are added. Once we have this, let's check once if all of our points are on top of a sphere or not. So we will use a mesh instancer op for this purpose and a sphere to be instanced. So what mesh instancer does is that it takes some geometry, in this case the sphere, and it instances that particular geometry as per the different parameters given. So here we'll connect the positions to this point sphere random and connect this geometry here. So we have something. Let's reduce the size of this sphere to kind of have like a better view. Okay. And then let's try and increase the number of points. So you can see that it is kind of a sphere, right? So let's get rid of these two. Now we need to kind of connect all of these points, right? So for that, we will put in a spline mesh operator and then take the same input from here. In order to make the spline mesh work, it needs a spline mesh material. So we'll just go ahead and add that. And now you see that we have all of these points connected. Let's remove width perspective and change the number for width to 1. Let's add in a transform and make this entire thing a little bit smaller. So scale it down to 0.8 so that this entire thing is in view. And then what we are supposed to do is sort all of these points by distance. So currently it's kind of just added randomly. All of these little points are kind of linked randomly. So if we do a sort array 3 by distance, it goes from this on the left to this on the right. So we'll just go ahead and add that, and you already see that we are going somewhere, right? So let's make this brighter. So you see we have all of these points Let's put in an orbit control up to rotate this and inspect this weird geometry a bit closer. So you see we have like two open points, so we need to connect these 2 points. So firstly, how can we connect these points? In order to do that, what we want to do is to take the values for the first point, the XYZ values, and kind of append it to the end of this array. In order to do that, we will take an array, get, I think array 3, get numbers. So we have like the XYZ values, and we'll let the index be 0 so that we have the 3 values. Then we will add array set number. So it sets a number at some index for the array. Connect this to the main loop and copy paste this twice. Connect all the trigger ports, and then we are going to connect this array to this and progressively disconnect this, connect this. Okay, but still our points are not connected. That is because we have not yet set in our number. So now what we want to do is take these numbers and set them to the last 3 values for the array, right? So the length of the array is given by this value here, which is the total length for the number of points n. Now what happens is for every point we have like 3 values, and the array indices go from 0 to array length -1. So the next 3 digits will be next 3 indices that we are going to add will be this array length plus 1, and array length plus 2. So for the first one, we are just going to connect array length to this. For the second one, we are going to add 1 to this, so it becomes 208 in this case. Now we can directly put in the values as well, but we do not want to kind of reset the value every time we kind of connect a new operator or something. So we'll just use this so that it automatically updates whatever values we might take. So if we change our values now, they are always connected, unlike before, right? And the next thing that we are supposed to do here is kind of use curved shapes instead of straight lines. So we will do a subdivide. Subdivide array 3 works for like 3-dimensional geometries with like XYZ values. So we'll just add this, and you see that instantly this goes from a straight line jaggedy thing to like something more curved uh, kind of thing, and we are almost done. So we'll reset the value of the number of points to 300, and we will add in a timer to our y-axis so that it starts rotating nicely, and get rid of our orbit controls. Add in a clear color, change this to white and make this black, and that's about it. Let us know in the comments what you think, and if you have any other suggestions for future videos. Thank you and have a good day.